folks. How you doing?
What up,
I
Ted?
think you know us. At least I hope you do. I'm Ted Glover. Right next to me or below me, I'm not sure how the screen's working out, but is one Mr. Drew Bunting. And this is our new venture. What are we calling this show, Drew?
Who am I? Why am I here?
You can tell our preliminary meetings weren't so good.
Yeah,
we'll work on the Vikings report. Bring back.
Oh yeah, that's right. Vikings dispatch or Vikings report. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But Drew and I are here to talk Vikings, talk football, and kind of whatever kind of comes across our mind as we're discussing. So, how you doing, Drewster?
Doing great. How you doing, Ted?
If I was any better, I'd be against the law, man.
Light it. Light the candle. Light that candle. Light that candle. I'm excited to try out this new venture.
Yeah.
We got to use our brain and our mind. And first off, I'd like to give a shout out to my daughter, Elizabeth, who's going to be helping with the production. She's extremely talented. She's knows this stuff inside and out. She's going to be giving us a hand until she can't stand us anymore. Then she'll tell us to go pound sand. But
so like 2 episodes max.
2. I was thinking 2, maybe 3.
Right. Is that the over under?
Elizabeth helped me put that fantasy football movie together for the league about 10 years ago, and it went from fantasy football leagues everywhere. Everybody loved it.
Cool.
So she did a great job with that. So now we're going to reconvene on this project, and like I said, shout out to Elizabeth for giving us a hand, getting this thing going. And, there'll be some glitches as we get this thing rolling out, but it's going to be fun. I'm hoping we have some fun and we have some guests on maybe and maybe answer some questions from people. Of course, we're going to talk Vikings football. We're going to share some stories. Even though we have differences in our lives, we have a connection with the Vikings. This is the first time an Ohio State and Michigan guy have collaborated on anything, I think. So
yeah. So if this goes down in flames, it's Harbaugh's fault.
Actually, I'm expecting you to probably be about 60 times better than me in this show. So it's a struggle, but we're going to go blue. We're going to go Buckeyes. We'll talk college football. Hopefully we'll share that. We're going to share everything, Ted. We got stories. Yeah. We got Don Glover stories.
We have no limitations.
No. We're going to throw it all out there and let you people siphon through it or sift through it. Ted, a great helicopter pilot of his time. I played in a couple of rock bands. We're going to mix in a little of that, a little of everything. We'll keep it Vikings. We'll keep the Vikings up front, of course, but that's about the intro I came up with. What are you thinking of getting out of this show?
Yeah, I just I hope people laugh, and I hope people learn something and they're informed, and I hope they like what they see and come back for more.
Yes.
If you don't, quite frankly, I won't be surprised. But
we are winging it, dude.
Yeah. This is like totally without a net.
But you know what?
You know what we should call the show? We should call it the Flying Melinda Trapeze Hour because we're doing this without a net. Nobody knows what's going to happen. So if nothing else, people will tune in to see if we miss the bar and fall to our death.
Which they tune in for that also.
Mm-hmm.
We're not kind of scripted dudes though. When I met you doing GMG over last year, the year before we started doing Good Morning Gallo, and it was just shooting from the cuff is kind of what I figured you to be. So I figured if we're gonna, we don't really have any scripts that carry us along. So
which is blatantly obvious for this first introductory show.
Well, it's blatantly obvious. But people don't tune into us for prelim and stats. We will have some stats, but I guarantee you, folks, they're not going to be stats that put you in a coma. They're not going to be coma stats.
They can't be because I don't understand them. I was told, look, when you hit me up about this, I was told there would be no math involved. So the first sign of math, I'm punching, man. I'm out.
Absolutely no math. Absolutely no math. The one staple we will have weekly that we used to have at GMG that we kind of got away from was that TED trivia. We're bringing that back in style. Toonces the cat's going to bring it to us. You'll see that. That's actually going to happen in this episode. That's the one segment we're going to start out with. But we're going to have different segments. We're always welcome for different ideas, what you guys want to talk about. We're heading towards the off season, Ted. We got the last Viking game coming up Sunday. You can give me your take. maybe not so much on the draft. We'll hit that up next episode because we got a lot of time to talk about that. But you could kind of put this Viking season in a nutshell for all of us and tell us. Nobody thought 6-9, 6-10, or 7-9 going into this season, right? I mean,
I did actually. I kind of did. I thought when you looked at the personnel moves the Vikings made in the offseason last year and how they got rid of a lot of vets on defense. And we've talked about this before, and they go with such a young secondary. I think everybody accepted the fact that the defense would struggle. I don't think anybody anticipated how much they'd struggle for how long. I mean, it's been darn near a season long slog of just horrible defensive play week in and week out. And it's just been, I was kind of thinking a 7 or 8 win season tops. I didn't think it would be this disappointing. I wasn't really sure what to expect if you go 7 or 9 or 8-8, but the Vikings, when they started out 1-5, I think they just kind of checked out, and they only got back close to 500 because they played some pretty bad football teams coming out of the bye, and they barely beat a couple of those football teams. This team could very easily be 4-11 right now,
sure,
or 3-12. So it was aggravating. It's been a frustrating season. There's been a couple positive things that have come about. Justin Jefferson, I think, has been a very pleasant surprise. A couple guys in the secondary, Cameron Dantzler and Jeff Gladney, are not are coming along pretty well after some early season struggles. But it's been, and the things that have been a problem are still problematic for the Vikings.
Right.
The offensive line play and whole other stuff. What are your thoughts on this season so far?
Oh, Jesus. I didn't expect it to go this bad. I was kind of uncertain at the beginning. The whole Ngakoue thing got me thinking that maybe some people don't know what they're doing. That seemed like a rather odd move to trade for that guy, one of the best pass rushers in the league, and then a month later you get rid of him for less than you got him for. That was kind of showing me the light that maybe what's going to be happening with. There was certainly a couple good things to hang your hat on, but one of the good aspects of this show, one of the reasons I wanted to do it, is that we're old school guys, man. We are old school Vikings fans way back. Tarkenton, Nate Wright, all those guys. So we have been through all this, so we can kind of compare seasons to different seasons to each one. And I really don't know what to compare this one to because it's been so bad defensively. I mean, I remember a team that's been this bad defensively to give up. To see what happened during, what angers me, dude. The Vikings gave up 6.
What angers you? What
they gave up? Now get this. They gave up 6 fucking touchdowns to Alvin Kamara, right?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be shown all in the next 50 years. They're gonna show highlights of him. There'll probably be that chopped footage of all 6 going into the end zone from different angles or whatever. You know what? And what team are we gonna have to see in the background giving that up?
Yeah, that's going to be the Vikings.
Same as that goddamn 99-yard run. It's the same thing. How many times do we have to
Same as the Hail Mary.
How many times do we have to sit through the Hail Mary in that 99 yards and 1/2? Remember that? Or
Yeah.
With what's his name? With the crew, the
Tony Dorsett, Monday Night Football.
Goal line defense for the Vikings. A handoff, Dorsett up the middle. Here he goes. Cuts to his right. Going all the way. To the 30. To the 40. He's got 2 men to beat. To the 40. To the 30. To the 20. To the 10. To 5. Touchdown! Unbelievable! Tony Dorsett is in the record books. 99 yards.
How many times have we had to look at that because he gave up that record-setting run? So that, that's going to be in all the highlights. The Alvin run, all of his runs, the 6 touchdowns hasn't happened in 100 years. You're giving up something that hasn't happened in 100 years. So I don't know what to compare. It seems like it's getting worse as the season goes on. Maybe it's a good call that this is it Sunday. because the Vikings need to get back to the basics. And I mean, right down to the staff, the coaches. They need to evaluate, like, they got a lot of work ahead of them.
So, okay, so let me ask you this then. So I 100% agree. They need to get back to basics. Can they do that if Mike Zimmer comes back? If Rick Spielman comes back?
I don't. I know everybody has different thoughts on all that. I think the time of Zimmer is up. I think it's almost a forced thing that you have to. There's such a gloomy cloud over this team. A fresh start is what it needs. I mean, right down the roster. The problem is they kept everybody on extensions. They kept all those players, like you had mentioned in the post that you wrote. They kept guys too long. They kept they extended the coaches. Just think if they were coming to the end of this season and Cousins was off the books and Zimmer didn't have everything was going to be clear after this. It'd be perfect. Perfect time to make the switch and make the run towards something new.
Yep.
I don't know if they could do it with Zimmer. I mean, I keep trying to hang on to what Mr. Stefano talks about, those injuries being, there's so much more though than those injuries. So,
it is. You were talking just a minute ago what season this reminds you of. And I'm going back, and it's not as bad as 84, whatever it was. Steckel. It's not that bad. It kind of reminds me of 2010, the year Chili got fired.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember, they had when Chili got fired, they got blown out in back-to-back games against the Bears and the Packers, and I think both those games were at home. And then Leslie Frazier stepped in, and then they had the weirdness of the dome collapsing at the end of the year. And then they got stuck in Philly for a snowstorm and had to play a game on a Tuesday night, I think, or whatever it was.
But they won. They actually won that.
Yeah. Antoine Winfield. And what school did Antoine Winfield go to, Drew? That's right. It was Ohio State. Thank you, God. I didn't hear you. I thought you said Ohio State. No, yeah, I had that great block field goal and return. Anyways, but at the end of that season, there was hope. They went into 2011 and they drafted a quarterback. They got a new head coach in Leslie Frazier, who I thought after the way he sort of handled things towards the end of 2010 with all the weirdness that happened, that he deserved a shot. Because after they had to play a home game in Detroit too. I mean, just so much weird things happened.
Right.
And so there was that kind of hopeful feeling there that, well, maybe things will turn around now. Favre's gone. They've got a bunch of old guys they can get rid of and get our quarterback of the future and maybe start on our way back up. And so this to me feels like 2010, right after Chili got fired, and which was like 2 weeks after he released Randy Moss, after they traded back for him. There's this anger, I think, from a lot of the fan base towards the coaching staff.
Right.
There's a lot of old players that are expensive that we know aren't coming back. And I think they've got some young players on offense that you could really build around for the future. Guys like Cook and Jefferson and Thielen for a couple more years. But, is Mike Zimmer the guy that can do that?
Is he coming back, Ted? Come on now. Tell me. Is he coming back? Is he going to be here? Make the call, Mr. 7 and 9. Make the call. Shoot me into the sun, baby.
So I think he gets fired if the Vikings look terrible and lose on Sunday.
They get their tits licked 61-3 out the door.
If they get another 50 burger hung on him by Detroit, he's gone. 40 burger, maybe even.
I remember back at week 3, Flip said, if we lose to Atlanta, he's gone.
Yeah, and here he is.
Like, no, I hear you.
I really don't know. I mean, I think if the Vikings win,
yeah, he's
back. I do. I think Spielman and Zimmer are going to sell Wilf a bag of excuses about, well, it was COVID and we didn't have the off season to teach our guys what we needed them to teach, and just give us one more year. And I bet you anything, Wilf will say, okay.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me run this by the mind of Ted Glover. Smitty is who I call him most of the time. Let me ask you, do the Chicago Bears have a better quarterback than us?
No. They don't.
Do the Chicago Bears have better wide receivers than us?
No.
Do the Chicago Bears have a better starting running back than us?
I like David Montgomery, but no.
Bears are down pretty much 2 defensive tackles the whole season. Bears are down 1 safety the whole season. Bears are down a corner the whole season. And for half the season, they didn't have their right tackle. Okay?
And the Bears are going to make
if the Bears win, they're in the playoffs Sunday. So all these excuses I've been hearing on all these shows about the Vikings, I just named off a list of bullshit that Nagy's had to deal with. They're 8-7. If they win, they're in, I think. Yeah. That's the scenario.
Yeah, that's a win and in for them. And now they're playing the Packers, I believe. So
why are the Bears able to overcome all the bullshit, but the Vikings use it as excuses? Well, that's what irritates me.
I think Nagy snuck all his players into the facility during COVID, and they practiced and didn't tell anybody.
Probably.
No, it's a good point. That's what I hate about all this excuse making. You know, everybody deals with injuries in the NFL. Right. Everybody dealt with the offseason that was with no OTAs, no mini camps, no preseason games, kind of a bare stripped down training camp, whatever. So everybody started with the same disadvantages. Nobody got some of that stuff, got to do some of that stuff, and then some teams didn't. Everybody started on an even footing. So that I just hate that excuse. And you know, the thing with Mike Zimmer is he's using those excuses now when he didn't used to. I was going through some of my old files trying to clean out my computer, and I came across an audio segment of Zimmer right after Teddy Bridgewater got hurt. I think it was like the very first press conference after it was announced he was going to be out for the season in 2016. And he's like, look, they're not going to cancel the season. We got games to play, and we're going to play them, and we're going to play with the players we got, and we're going to be good, basically is what he said. And you contrast that to today where he says, well, this is the worst defense I've ever had. It's really not my fault. I've got terrible players. I mean, what happened to the Mike Zimmer between 2016 and now?
And more importantly, if you don't have that guy from 2016, how do you go forward with this new one?
Yeah, exactly. And I just think, that's why I think it in some ways it would be better. Well, in many ways it would be better to move on from Mike Zimmer. I just think the guy has the Vikings have gone as far as they can under Zimmer.
You know what, Ted?
Todd.
It seems like to me, from Spielman all the way down to Zimmer, doesn't it seem like the Vikings coach to not be 3-13 instead of coaching to win the Super Bowl? It seems like they coach just not to be shitty.
Yeah.
Rather than looking at the big picture and like what do we need to do to win the championship? That's a different mindset of thinking, what do we do so we're not shitty? So as long as we're 8-8, we're okay. Is there a difference? To me, there's like I don't know. I'm not in the meeting, so it just seems that way.
I think what they've done since the end of 2017, when they went to the NFC Championship, they said we have all the pieces in place minus at the end of 2017, it was minus a quarterback and, let's get Sheldon Richardson. And that should get us over the hump. And instead of realizing, and it's just my opinion, instead of realizing 2017 was as good as it's going to get, and now we have to retool and cycle guys in and out. Zimmer tried to keep his guys together for as long as possible to keep that Super Bowl window open, and the window closed because those guys got old, those contracts got expensive, and those guys ended up leaving anyways, like Everson Griffin, for example. Right. And so instead of realizing, look, at the end of last year, at the end of last year, what I kind of thought they realized when they should have started really kind of a rebuild, again, they just retooled. And I think that's the approach they're going to take. Well, we guys, our young cornerbacks got a lot of experience, and all we just need to do is add a couple guys here and a couple guys there, and we'll be fine.
Right.
And no, you won't be.
Yeah, they should take the example of Ted Glover and Drew Bunting. We never had to retool. We always just rebuild.
It's reloaded, baby.
We
never retooled. I reloaded, baby. Let's go.
Never known as a retool. Maybe a tool, but not a retool. Does that actually say Ted, the King of the North, on the screen?
Yeah, it's a little Game of Thrones thing. I don't know. I'll change it up every week. I'll come up with something clever every week.
That's better than Ohio State football, I see. That's hideous.
Really?
Push that thing out of the screen.
Michigan fan? But talk about hitching your wagon to crappy coaches. How about that extension for your boy Harbaugh?
Did he get one?
It said it was a done deal yesterday. He's back, and Columbus rejoices.
That's funny. I watched that thing on Johnny Cooper the other day. John Cooper, besides his Ohio State time, is known as this tremendous Hall of Fame type coach.
He is.
I thought he was a bum the whole way through.
Minus his Michigan record, he's an exceptional coach.
All right, now I got you rolling. Let me ask you about Friday. There's nothing we're not going to include on this show. Anybody they want to talk about? You want to talk about the Vikings, NFL, a little bit of hockey? You want to talk about if you're having relationship problems? You can call the show. We'll help you out.
Yeah, call us for your relationship issues. We'll help you out.
Does Ohio State got a shot against Spicoli?
Yeah,
Clemson?
They absolutely do.
I know they're getting Olave back, and I know Fields really likes him.
Yeah,
especially on the 50-50 balls. That guy's pretty good. So
yeah, he is.
Drafted, but he gets back. Do they got a shot at Clemson?
Here's the thing: you take 3 plays away last year from that Clemson game. That fumble, scoop and score that was overturned. That ridiculous.
That's right.
Yeah, that ridiculous targeting call on Sean Wade. It was like 3rd down. That was a sack. Would have been 4th down. They ruled it roughing the passer with targeting. Wade got ejected. Clemson got a 1st down and went down and scored. Completely changed the complexion of that football game.
Christ's sake, how do you remember all that?
Because it's burned into my soul, man.
What'd you have for dinner last night? Oh,
I don't know. I have no idea. and then like the last play of the game where Olave kind of broke to the outside and Fields thought he was going to break to the inside. And he threw that interception in the end zone. Change those 3 plays and Ohio State wins that game.
Well, I know Fields has been struggling the last couple of weeks. So
he has.
He better turn it around. He's got to be on his A game.
His 2 worst games were against the 2 best teams they played this year, Indiana and Northwestern. But I don't think Ohio State has played their best game yet, and Clemson is just saying a bunch of it's nothing that it isn't true. But when you have a coach like Ryan Day that can turn that into great motivational type stuff, I look for Ohio State to come out and play a really good football game, and yes, they are definitely capable of beating Clemson.
What about that exciting bowl game we had today, Ted? What about that Dino's Mayo Bowl, the Mayonnaise Bowl? I'm not even kidding you. It's the Mayonnaise Bowl between help me out, Wisconsin and Wake Forest. Neither team had a winning record. It was 4-4 against 3-3 in the Mayonnaise Bowl. Are you shitting me? The Mayonnaise Bowl?
Peak 2020. A team from Wisconsin playing for a tub of mayonnaise to call themselves champions of whatever.
When they won the game 42-28, they splashed some Gatorade on the head coach.
They should have dumped a thing of Miracle Whip on him.
It was the Mayonnaise Bowl. They had a big thing of mayonnaise painted at 50 yards. I'm not even shitting you. It was called Dean's Mayonnaise Bowl. And then something happened in the locker room and they destroyed the thing.
The quarterback broke the Mayo Bowl trophy. So when I go to the grocery store and I want to get mayonnaise, I get it in a plastic jar.
Yeah.
How do you not make your Mayo Bowl trophy a big plastic tub of mayonnaise? How do you not? You're going back to Wisconsin. That'll be gone on the plane right home.
They got in the locker room and dropped it, and it shattered into 1,000 pieces. So much for that crystal trophy. That's all right. We got the Mayonnaise Bowl champions right here.
Better dead than red, baby. Wisconsin. Whatever.
Shout out to you, Denver. I know you're a big Wisconsin fan. Yeah, Drew, we won the Mayo Bowl. What do you think about that?
We're 4-3, baby.
4-4 against 3-3 in the Mayonnaise Bowl.
Terrible. Just terrible.
Well, terrible. Are we gonna get to our trivia?
Yeah, why don't we knock that trivia out? Why don't we do that?
Okay, folks, we're gonna be doing a little trivia every episode. It will be Ruby Toonces against us. And she has an idea about how we're going to score it. I forgot what she told me because I don't listen a lot. So we will bring in Toonces trivia and have Ruby try to stump Ted and I. That's right. Michigan and Ohio State teaming up to take on the trivia challenge. We'll be right back with that.
Please, give him out.
Mr. Green? Mr. Green?
Yeah.
You need any help? I just want you to know, I think you're the best ever.
Yeah, sure.
Want my Coke? It's okay, you can have it.
No.
Really, you can have it.
Okay.
A Coke and a smile makes me feel good. Makes me feel nice.
Be around.
That's the way it should be. I like to see
Hey, kid.
the whole world is smiling with me. Coca-Cola as life. Have a Coke and
Thanks, Mean Joe.
smile.
Okay, so we are going to do our trivia now from Toonces. The way this is going to work is we're going to start with easy questions, and we're going to get harder as we go along.
That's what she said.
Alrighty then. For everyone you get correctly, you will get the amount of points of the number of the questions. So if you get question 1 right, you get 1 point. If you get question 8 right, you get 8 points, and vice versa for me if you get it wrong.
Now are Drew and I working as a team against you, or is this okay? All right.
And since we both represent Michigan, Ohio State, I'm going to be leaning on you to do most of the scoring.
Okay. So I'll get like 60. I'll get like 65 points, and you'll get 30. All right.
Yeah, let's rock it. Rock it.
All right, question 1. Like I said, this is going to be easy. When is the last time the Vikings did not make the playoffs?
We can discuss it between ourselves, right?
Yeah,
Of course you can.
Last year.
It'd be 2018. It was Kirk Cousins' first year.
Kirk Cousins' first year. That's our
Yeah.
final answer.
That's our final answer. 2018.
All right,
Urban
good
Meyer.
job. 1 point.
Urban Meyer. You got one, Urban Meyer.
Don't
Andy.
choke, Hoke.
Andy Katzenmoyer comes through in the clutch.
All right, question number
We
2.
got 1 point. We're up 1-0.
You're up 1-0. And
Hit us
remember
up,
too
Toonces.
that I don't 100% know, what Ted knows, especially. So some of these questions I might think are getting harder might actually be easy.
He doesn't know
But
much.
Oh, look at me. I'm a dope. I'm a dope. Come on. Let's just be honest. I'm a dope.
All right, Dope. Here's question number 2. Which former Minnesota Viking acted in shows such as Laverne and Shirley, Hill Street Blues, Sisters, and Blue Mountain State?
That would be Ed Marinaro, I believe, Drew.
I would agree with. Let's go with that.
Ed Marinaro. Final answer.
That is correct. You now have 3 points.
Dude, we're on fire.
Pardon the birds in the background, everyone.
We like the birds. Go birds.
All right, question number 3. Which Vikings running back set an NCAA record with 1,925 rushing yards as a freshman?
What?
I think.
I'm guessing it's not Matt Asiata. No? Okay.
I think that's Adrian Peterson when he was a freshman at Oklahoma.
Is that your final answer?
Wait, how many? Do you get any mulligans? Or oh, no. There's
You get no mulligans.
Okay, good. I like that. Hardcore, lady. Hardcore. I would say I'm going to agree with Ted. I think that sounds like AP numbers at Oklahoma freshman year.
That is correct.
Ted, yeah! Yes!
You know what that was? You know what that answer was right there? That was JT Barrett's 4th and 1. Spot was good, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
That spot was garbage. That was the shittiest spot I've ever seen. Besides the one on my underwear. All right, let's go. What? How many points we got?
All right, so you got 3 for that because that was question number 3. So you have 6 points total. 2.
I'm writing this down so you
Nothing.
don't cheat us out of any points. I'm going to write it down myself.
All right, question number 4.
I don't want to get cheated out of points.
Regarding the Detroit Lions, when is the last time the Vikings lost to the Lions?
Ooh.
I got the answer, Ted.
Okay.
But it takes a little backtracking. We've won when we beat the Lions this season. I believe it was our 7th straight. So if we got to deduct back to, was it the Thanksgiving game when the lady sang the 10-minute ovation national anthem?
Remember
when Urethra, whatever?
Yeah. Urethra.
Is that her name? Urethra Franklin? Is that her name?
I think you're right. And if that's the case, that would have been 2016, because that was
Aretha.
That was Sammy. That was Sammy Bradford, because they won Thanksgiving 2017 with Case. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Yep.
Yeah. 2016.
Wrong.
God.
Vikings lost to the Lions on October 1st, 2017.
So they lost in Minnesota.
What? We lost to them in 2017?
Yep.
Yeah, that was the game Dalvin Cook tore his ACL. It was like week 3 or 4. Yep, that's right.
I do not feel like Tim Biakabutuka taking it 40 yards off tackle to the end zone. I don't feel like him right now.
It's like playing cards with my grandkids. No matter what, I lose.
Let's go. We need one of those.
All right, question number 5.
Sorry,
also,
Ted, I walked us right into the fire on that.
Nah, that's good.
All right, go ahead.
Also Lions related. Name 5 players, past or present, who have been both a Detroit Lion and a Minnesota Viking.
Al Bubba Baker is one.
Yeah.
Yep. I know that. He's defensive end, Bubba Baker.
Riley Reef?
Yes. There's a 2. There's a number 2. What do we need? One more?
3 more.
Let's see.
Who the hell was a Lion?
Good Lord. Reef.
Blanking right now.
Adrian Peterson, who's currently on the Lions.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that counts, huh?
J-Ron
Curse.
One more.
Okay, one more. We got to get this.
I want to say something stupid like Eric Hipple, but that ain't it.
God, Eric Hipple. I haven't heard that name in so long. It was probably a quarterback though. Did Farad ever play there? Gus? I think he was.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, Gus.
Boom! Knuckle crack.
Bang.
How's that,
Toonces?
Right.
And just for fun.
How'd you like me now, man? Everything I turn around, huh? So we got 5. That's 11.
And just for fun, here's some others: Amir Abdullah, Anthony Carter,
wait, who
Chris
was after
Claiborne,
Abdullah?
Chris Jones, Chris Lewinsky.
Who was after Abdullah? What was that name?
Anthony Carter.
Anthony Carter played for the Lions?
I didn't know that.
Wow.
According to ProReferenceFootball.com, he did.
Must have been at the end of his career.
Must have been a cup of coffee. Yeah, well, it had to be at the end.
Yeah.
And then DJ Dozier, Dante
Dante,
Culpepper,
yeah.
Everson Griffin, Grady Alderman, Jerry Ball, Kyle Sloter, Matt Asiata.
Yeah, should have made it. That's a.
When did Asiata play? I got to look up, figure out when Asiata played for the Lions. Christ, they must have had negative rushing yards that season if he played for him.
After she read all those names off, I feel like a dope that it took us that long. All right, Toonces, hit us up. That's good.
All right, question number 6. You must indulge my love of Randy Moss. There will be a Randy Moss question often. This one is, where did he finish in the Heisman Trophy voting?
That was the year your boy Woodson won it.
Right.
And then
the national championship team.
National half a national championship. Yeah. Nebraska would have punked you. That year.
Fuck Nebraska. Old ass Tom Osborne with his red cheeks. Get rid of him.
So Woodson won it, which would have made
fourth. I keep thinking he was fourth.
Peyton Manning, I think, was the runner-up.
Okay. So he's either third or fourth.
I can't remember who would have been. Well, of course, Moss is at Marshall, though.
Yeah.
I think third, but there could have been a guy before him. But I'm going to say third. That's my best guess.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah. I'm going to agree with Katzenmoyer on third, but I think it was fourth. I'm going to go third, though. I'm going to agree with.
Wrong. It was fourth.
That's my John Cooper play of the week. Sorry, man.
That's Mike Zimmer in the 2-minute drill.
Who finished third?
You know what? I should have looked that up. I don't remember.
So we might be right. So we can officially protest this question until the next show.
Yeah, we can protest. File a grievance. File the grievance.
All right. Question number 7.
These are really good, by the way.
Yeah,
Shout out to you.
Okay, so Drew tells me, Ted, that you are a Shawshank
am.
fan. So I came up with a Shawshank question. It was the closest I could get it to football.
Ooh, okay.
Here it is. After Andy escaped the prison, Red said that Andy crawled to freedom through foul smell he couldn't even imagine. Red equated the distance Andy crawled to the length of how many football?
Oh my God.
I just realized, too,
you know
that
what? I can see the look on Ted's face. He's going to go.
I need absolute silence. I need absolute silence.
Andy crawled to freedom through 500 yards of shit-smelling foulness I can't even imagine.
500 yards, 5 football fields.
That is correct.
Yeah!
Yeah! Thank God Glover knew it because I had no fucking clue.
This is like whose line is it anyways?
No, I want to win. Right here. This is exactly why we have a winning tradition at our school, and you guys just fly by night. Because I play to win. You play just to have fun.
Harbaugh's your coach. Stop it. Because you're embarrassing yourself, and then you're making Ruby and I uncomfortable.
Braylon Edwards. There's a no miss guy. There's a no miss NFL star. Braylon Edwards. Let's draft him. Okay.
All righty.
Toonces.
Last question. Of course, we are always going to have an Ohio State, Michigan question. This one is, name 3 people who either played or coached or both for both teams.
Bo Schembechler.
Schembechler.
Correct.
Justin Boren.
Correct.
That played for both? How do they play for both? I don't know.
Yeah, Boren left Michigan after Lloyd Carr.
No, I remember Boren. I remember Lehman transferred to Ohio State, but is there a lot of players who have done that? I can't even think of.
Not a lot.
There's a handful there that have either coached or played for both.
Who have both coached at Michigan and Ohio State.
What about
Al? Well, he was your linebacker coach. He was on Harbaugh's staff. Al something or other. Day swiped.
Al Sharpton?
No.
No, I know you're talking about Al. I know you're talking about. I can't remember his last name though. Al.
Hang on.
He was there forever. He was there for like 30 years.
Ed Werner. He was on Ohio State staff. Now he's on Michigan staff. Ed Werner.
Okay, I'll go with that. I don't even know who Ed Werner is.
I have an Albert on my list.
Albert?
Yeah, like
Albert?
Not Al, but
Albert King?
Bernstein. I do not have that name on my list, but that doesn't mean that you're
What's
not
his name,
right.
Ted?
Werner. Warriner.
Not like the Werner von Kempler who played Clink on Hogan's Heroes.
No.
Okay, I'm going to say
Ed Werner, I think it is.
Is there a guy named Mallory on there? He's a guy who played for Michigan that I think ended up at Ohio State coaching as a grad student. I'm not sure. No Mallory? I don't got.
So it was what, 3 guys, 3 people?
Yep.
That's what we come up with. Boren.
Yeah. So Woody Hayes, Justin Bourne, and Ed Werner.
Alrighty. Well, I don't have the last one on my list, but I believe you.
He's on there. Trust me.
Add up the points.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm a professional.
Okay, so other acceptable answers would have been Albert Herrnstein, Chuck Heater, Gary Moeller, Chuck Stobart, George Little. What?
Moeller, Gary Moeller.
When did he?
It says he was a 3-year starter at center for Ohio State in 1960 to 1962.
No shit.
Oh, I did not know that.
I don't know how he ever became a Michigan head coach then. Well, he was only coach here for a week, and then he got busted for. Didn't he grope some girl at a Burger King or something?
No, that was after he got hired by the Lions, I thought. Moeller was the coach for a while, wasn't he?
Groped some chick at the salad bar at Sizzler or something.
Sizzler.
And then also Rick Bay, Steve Farrell, JT White, and Leo Cunningham.
Damn.
Rick Bay was the Ohio State athletic director when I was like flunking out there.
I do remember Heater. Remember that guy?
No, I don't. I don't remember him.
Well, Al Heater, I think his name was. Damn.
Wow.
Well, we got that point anyway, so.
And
so we only missed one question? The Moss question?
No, we missed one. Right. I missed one earlier. I said, the Lions, last time the Lions.
Oh, yeah.
I missed that I didn't know that. I forgot about the 2017. So we missed 2.
That's pretty good. We did pretty good.
Toonces.
You did great.
That is going to be an installment of every episode because for one, we don't care. And for number 2, we love trivia. And it's a lot of fun. We like trivia. We love trivia. Ruby, thank you so much for presenting that to us. Can't believe I just did that. Do we have anything else we want to talk as we head out the door here? We want to tell people about coming up in the future?
I just want to say thanks, Drew, for hitting me up and asking me to do this show. I think it's going to work out well. And the Bunting family. This is like a Bunting family production. Ruby's doing the trivia. Your daughter's doing the production, which is awesome. Thanks for wasting precious hours of your life indulging Drew and I to do this. And I hope people like it and we'll try to do better next time.
Cool. We're just getting started, but we will put the time and the effort in and do our best to bring you a good show, a funny show that hopefully has some informative football stuff attached to a little bit of laughter. And on a downer note, today we lost the great Marianne Dawn Wells, who passed away at the age of 82.
Yeah.
Such a huge part of a lot of our childhood.
I got nothing else.
It's over, folks.